Okay, this one is on to help people that have dealt with someone that has been abusive and primarily the narcissist, which their behaviors usually cover anybody who's abusive. Why you feel like you love and miss them. And I'm going to give my perspective. I'm not a doctor or a psychiatrist. This is just my opinion and what I've went through living with both parents that were narcissistic and a sibling, and then having numerous friends that were narcissistic, baby daddy that was narcissistic, uh, just I was just everybody around it too. It just turned out that way, and I was like trained to act a certain way, which I'm just going to give my opinion how I ended up what I've experienced, and I'm going to give like a psychological aspect, a lot of spiritual, which makes it very a lot more simple when you see it that way. What's going on? I'm not going to go into detail to all the narcissistic traits, the different types of narcissists, because there's like tons of information, and this video would go for like days and days and days. And all I can say, because to me, the most important thing, like, it's not your job to diagnose them, because you could spend a long time and they'll know you're doing that and they will manipulate the crap out of you. And actually, they want you to sit there and be confused, trying to figure them out. That's what they want. It keeps you there longer. And then the longer that you stay there, the more that they can manipulate you. And basically, I call it mind fucking, and keep you there. You'll get stuck. It increases the chances of that. So, in your best interest, the most important thing is how they treat you. That's what you should look at. How do they treat you? Not what they say, because they're good at talking. They're good at manipulating. They're good at reading. They've been doing it for years. They're professionals at it. Don't try to beat them at it. You're going to lose. That's what they've been doing it probably like their whole life. So the most important thing is how they treat you. Do they treat you badly? Are they abusive? Are you happy with them? You have to base it on their actions. Do they treat you unfairly? Do you feel manipulated? Do you feel guilted? Um, do you feel confused? That's one of the big signs. Ask yourself, do you feel confused? You don't know what the relationship is, where it's going, or are you like misreading? That's a dead giveaway. Are you like looking into stuff, researching, or you're doing the opposite? You're actually like hiding issues from other people. That's a dead giveaway. All of those. Do they push you to break your own rules and boundaries? That's another dead giveaway. So when those signs come up, just step away. Step away. That's already a sign that your boundaries, you need to work on them and strengthen them, for the fact that you're even questioning and giving them that much time. It should have already been done. And the most important thing is your happiness, your growth, your development, your well-being. It's all about you, not them. You have to protect yourself. Especially one of the most important things is having your own boundaries, your own deal breakers, rules that you would tell a friend to use, but you use them for yourself. Promise yourself you would never, ever, ever break them. And if you do have somebody that causes you to like bend them a little, just step away. That's not a good sign. And that's what they like to do. They test the waters and keep pushing you a little bit more, a little bit more. And that's one of the ways they test you out when they first meet you. They'll talk about things that like someone who has strong boundaries be like, I'm not talking to you. And then they'll see like with you to see if you have low self-esteem or you're easily manipulatable. They'll even like criticize you slightly to see if you like stick up for yourself. They'll do little tricks. So you need to do research on it so you can learn to what to look out for. Look at your situation as if you were advising a friend. Move your emotions out of the situation. Stick to the facts. And There are many types of narcissists, many types. I had to learn that. Each time I kept thinking like I knew them, and then like I could read them, and then all of a sudden I'd meet someone else that was even more advanced in the narcissism. So I ran into numerous types, which kind of like freaked me out and scared me. And then they range from the overt to the covert, and they call usually it's just a spectrum. They'll have narcissism, or it's like traits of it, or narcissistic personality disorder, where it's like full blown. And they're from the overt to the covert. You can look all these up. There's grandiose, malignant, intellectual, somatic, uh, conversational, communal, vulnerable, like numerous. And it isn't even just that. With the spectrum, many narcissists don't stick to one type. And I call them the narcissist 2.0. They can actually swing between any one of those depending on how good they're at manipulating people, their confidence in it, the situation with the person that they're dealing with. So they can go from, oh, the big overt to the vulnerable. Oh, woe is me. I'm the victim and guilting you, and the world is after me and I need you to save me. And they'll go to the intellectual, the intelligence, or they'll go from the more the somatic, the physical body. They'll do everything to make themselves look hot, and they'll be very sexual. And then most narcissists cheat. Some don't. And then they do different versions of cheating. Some of them, it isn't just sex. Some of them do emotional cheating. And then they'll even use children, all kinds of stuff. And what they do is they use a lot of psychology. They study you. And it almost seems like they care, but they actually don't. They're studying you to only figure out what will work on you. In what way are you basically thirsty, your weaknesses, your beliefs, so they can do grooming. They do different versions of grooming to give you what you need, to hook you, control you, manipulate you, and to use the traits they liked about you on others. And I call it mimicry. They start acting like you. They'll dress like you. They'll say the same words like you, like totally copy you. And some of these people, they'll see someone and they'll literally criticize them, but then copy all their work, the way they look, the way they talk, just everything. They'll totally change themselves. They'll do whatever it takes, and they'll change. They're chameleons. They'll change their self for your friends, for anybody they meet. It's like they don't have a self. They become whatever they think most benefits them that they've seen in someone else. So when you do meet them and they seem really great, they're mimicking you, giving you what you want, and they have traits of people that they've stolen this from, people that they've done the same thing to. So they can use intelligence, spirituality, if money, if they know that you're needy to feel like you're wanted, they'll use that. If you're very moral, or if you're a Captain Save-A-Ho, that's a big thing. They rely on that. So they'll use guilt. They'll switch the story around and give you a sob story. They'll actually victimize someone and then switch the story around and act like they're the victim, or even in the conversation, they'll do that too. And it's crazy. So they hope you will feel guilty, and they hope you're trying to figure them out, that you can save them. They want you to think that. And then they look at if you have issues, like you have family issues, trauma, or you have issues of like something, a body, your appearance, they'll use that against you, and they'll flip things around. So they'll use psychology, repeating words and phrases. No, I didn't do that. This is you. This is you. Even at the beginning, you don't believe. They keep on repeating it. You start believing it. And it's a sort of like mind control, brainwashing. Also, they groom you by like neglecting you, ignoring you, like teaching you like a dog. And they'll use stuff like word salad, crazy thinking. They'll like severely get you confused and not even stay on topic and keep on going, because they wear you down. So you give up. Then after the conversation, you stepped away, you do feel mind fucked at the end. And even after the relationship's over and you get over it, and then you're like, oh my God, it just seems insane that someone could be this way. And then people who haven't experienced it, when you tell them, they don't fucking believe you, because it's so insane. They don't believe you. And then it ends up like, even in the process of it, like you start hiding it from people because you're embarrassed and humiliated. And they're really good at defaming you. And they already started defaming you way before they got rid of you. They do this with every person, everybody, and they only use people to their benefit. They start grooming you, and they'll even do things like talk about their ex. They'll talk about everything they hated about their ex to teach you psychologically, don't do that. All kinds of mind tricks. They're really good. And then they'll even use like triangulation. They'll talk highly of someone else, like certain traits and stuff. So like you'll feel less. And they'll even, when they go with someone, like they cheat on you, they'll go with someone not better than you. They'll go with someone that was less than you as a way like so you mentally will downgrade yourself and then try to mimic or be what they are with. And that person might be a piece of crap low life. And then you'll lower yourself. They're training you like a dog. And then they'll flip everything around. Everything is your fault. They cheated because you didn't pay attention to them. Or it's just stuff that like makes no sense. And then it leads you to like a lot of psychological trauma, Stockholm syndrome. They'll do crazy stuff like sleep deprivation, like argue with you all the time, like all kinds of stuff, try to isolate you so they can have total control of your mind. Nobody with rational common sense that cares for you can help you. So it's a way of brainwashing. Okay, and then let me see. And from what I've learned, most narcissists, they are not recoverable. They cannot change, most narcissists. And so I'm saying just like, don't even try to figure out if they can be changed or not. You're not there to save them. All you're going to do if you do stay is give them a better chance to keep you trapped, mess with you, and like severely damage you psychologically, spiritually, emotionally. So the best thing is when you see the red flags, just walk away and actually run away and stay away. And then I'm going into detail why you should. Okay, and a lot of studies that they've done, like they've done MRIs, I mentioned before, and MRIs, they have a form of brain damage. Like their amygdala is shrunken. There's a decrease of gray matter. So they've already been brain damaged. So there's brain structural damage. And then a lot of times, these people that are narcissists, it can be caused by environmental factors, trauma, and also it's genetic. And because of this, they end up lacking empathy and they have emotional dysregulation. And then staying there, going through that trauma, the word salad, the mind fucking, I call them Hitlers, it can give you brain damage and cause I'll go into detail, more of a chemical dependency and then even a spiritual dependency. And that actually can turn you to have narcissistic behavior. So basically, it's in your best interest once you do see red flags to get away, stay away, don't ever give them a chance. So physically, what ends up happening while you feel like you love them, you need them, that life doesn't matter if they're not there, you can't stop thinking about them, even though it makes no sense, the way they treated you, how much trauma it was, like you cannot understand. First of all, there's a physical issue that happens. There's a chemical dependency because of the ups and downs. All the adrenaline, endorphins, you get hooked on it. All your cells get hooked on it, which can cause you to get like with the healthy, and some people are already this way. You basically almost like get bored. And if you have a healthy relationship, you can't stand it. You're so used to it. You almost feel like there's no love in the relationship. And then on your own, you'll destroy the relationship. And that's like the same thing with them. That's why they behave a certain way, where they get bored real easy. They need things, the adrenaline rush. So you get bored in a healthy relationship or non-exciting moments. You think you don't love them. And then it could lead to self-sabotage to cause drama or chaos in your relationships, environment, events, and then only search for people who only bring about drama. So they cause this within the relationship and being in these types of relationships will cause you to repeat it over and over and over. And so you look for a certain type of person. So it's destined to not work out. So it's a physical chemical dependency. And when all your cells get addicted to it. So subconsciously you start replaying the same things, causing the same circumstances to happen, and basically being irrational. And the idea that, oh, they don't know any better. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's why they know who to do this with and when. Many even choose to learn how to improve their manipulation skills and how to hide their behavior. And I've seen it where like they are so advanced at it, so like technical, manipulative, and some even like they will do anything. Some of them use black magic, some will use hacking electronics, some will have like 2 or 3 phones, so they leave one phone out in front of you. Be like, I'm not doing anything wrong, while they have other phones. Yeah, just, you can research this, but they know what they're doing, so don't feel sorry for them. Okay, I'm going to go into the spiritual aspect in reference to mana, which is life energy. And that's like, they can sense the glow in you when you have a high amounts of mana, and then it's even expressed in like your happiness, how you manifest, and you're like your good luck, your positivity, and they look for this. Okay, mana, life energy, universal manifestation. And all this, like I mentioned before, it's based on like self-love, the way you feel on self-love, how you feel for yourself, sense of self-worth, power, the world loves you, people love you. They look for this. And they use that fact to manipulate your emotions, because all of it is emotions. And they know this. So they become professionals at manipulating people's mind, their behavior, what they think about themselves, what they think about the world, that affects their emotions. How you view yourself, and they use it and they learn to turn it off and on like a light switch. That's what they're doing. Since they don't have self-love, acceptance, they can't draw mana, life energy. Their emotions are dysregulated. And that's why they love empaths, because of the mirroring. I've mentioned before on MRIs, they've shown that empaths, there's certain structures in the brain, they call mirror neurons, where they set a highly empathic or psychic person in the MRI, and they bring someone in the room under MRI also, and all of a sudden the psychic person, the mirror neurons, start firing off in the same pattern as the person that they brought into the room. So the empath picks up that person's emotions, and not only they pick it up, these mirror neurons, they can actually project this feeling, this energy out. So that's why they like mirror empaths, because when the empath feels happy and loved, their energy comes out, and the narcissist feels it. So they don't have a sense of self-worth, who they are, and that empath expresses it out, and it makes them feel good. They literally get high on it. And that's why they like empaths. And the more you're emotional, the more they can manipulate you, the more moral. It's a light switch for them. They turn it off and on, so they have control of you without you even knowing. That's what they're doing. And along with the mana, same as the chemicals in your brain and your body, get you high, the endorphins, the love effect, the mana is the same thing too, but even more intense. This is why they study the person's strengths, weaknesses. They try to get all the dirt on you, so they know how to work the person emotionally like a game, like a light switch. They use everything against you, so they can draw mana off you, the emotional mirroring. It explains the love bombing, or making you, they're drugging you, literally controlling you, making you feel like the world loves you, everything's amazing, it's perfect. It's their version of drugging you, getting you hooked, like maximum levels, getting you hooked. It's a game to them. It's a strategy. You are nothing but an item. They don't love you. making you feel like you found your perfect soulmate. It's all just an act. They're literally mirroring you and saying and doing the right things. And basically, they are chameleons. They will do that with everyone and everything. The universe, you get the chemical, mental, mana high till they can't keep it up. Find someone else that is better for what they need. For somehow you see them in their true light. Do some type of what they call narcissistic ego injury. Say like you don't agree with them on something, you accomplish something that they haven't, or in some way you get more attention, but just in some way you're not beneficial because they only see people as good or bad, like a kid. They don't see them as in between. No, it's either you're all good or you're all bad. Or they get bored, or they've drained you of all your mana. They can't, there's no more high for them that they get off of you because the mana is not consistently high. You only get so much at a time, and then it takes a little bit of time to get it back. So on purpose, because since you're a light switch, they can control your emotions to draw all this, what they call supply, this energy. They manufacture ups and downs. They do it on purpose. And actually, they get high off of it knowing they can control you. And that's why in their head, they think they're God. And they think you deserve it. Because if you let them do this, you gave permission. That's your fault. They really do think that. Which is it's traumatic to your mind, your body, and your spirit. It is to confuse you, causing you to have a loss of power of self, causing brain and spiritual damage. And which is basically it's making you get addicted. You're no different from a drug addict. To the chemicals, the physical chemicals, the spiritual effects that are related to the narcissist. So you think you feel and you need them, that your life is great only with them. It's all psychology. It isn't them. It's the result of them knowing to manipulate your emotions to cause this chemical effect in your brain and this spiritual energy effect. You need to realize this. They just did a mental mind trick on you, working on you like a light switch, literally and figuratively, taking your power away from you. That is why it makes no sense of all the abuse that you went through, but then still feel like you need and love them, can't get them out of your head, you start feeling emotionally dysregulated because they were controlling your emotions. You lost that by letting them do that. And then you feel like you're depressed, you're drained, apathetic, you feel confused and lost. You literally get a brain fog because they chemically just messed up your brain. So there's that physical factor and a spiritual factor that is real. Because you were addicted like a drug addict, you're not addicted to them. That's an illusion. But the effect of the on and off switch, the manipulation that they were doing. So all you have to do is realize it will be uncomfortable. That's inevitable. It will just take the realization what was going on. And you have to have willpower to stay away and to never let them near or access to you in any way, in any freaking way. Just like a drug addict. And the way you have to treat yourself is as if you are a drug addict. Just like an alcoholic, you can't just have him like have sips and he'll be fine. No, you have to totally just stay away from them. Don't talk to them. Don't visit them. Don't believe any of their excuses because they will bait you and hoovering and all kinds of crazy things. And then also there's another aspect, and I've mentioned about demons, like you can create your own demons. Other people can create their own demons, just their thoughts and their behaviors, and the increases in energy and how it manifests in the reality and affects your thinking. You can pick up other people's demons. These people are so dysregulated in the bad habits, the environment, the need for attention from everybody. A lot of them are very, very promiscuous. Some just basically will have anything that will have sex with them. They need so much attention from numerous places and people, and if you think they just barely started cheating on you, no, no, no. They've been working on them probably at the same amount they've been working on you, because they know it never lasts. They know it never lasts, and they need like 2 or 3, 4 people sources of attention, and it could be their children, their family members, their parents, and most of them enable them. Their co-workers, sexual partner, it could any source of attention. And then there's different types of course, different types of narcissists. And some actually seem like they're normal and that they're loving and they volunteer and all that is an act. They do it all for attention. Or they attach themselves to very smart, intelligent, popular people and then talk about them, how great they are. And it seems like they're happy. They're not. It just they use the other person's clout. Oh, they like me. I'm with them. And it makes them look good. And then some act like it seems like they're concerned. They're not. It's just they don't let you know. They actually enjoy it when you're suffering. That's why they ask you all kinds of questions, how you're doing and everything. And then you'll see them like, oh, they're not too interested when you're happy. Or things are going great. And they'll like little sly, they'll do the gaslighting, little sly thing. The gaslighting, oh my God. They're good at the gaslighting and mind fucking you and making it look like you're the crazy person, that you're the bitch and everything. You need to do more research. I could go for like days and all different versions and how good they are. The Narcissist 2.0 that can just swing on the spectrum depending on what they need at the moment and how good they are at it. And then of course with the demons, that also affects your recovery. Infecting you with their demons, which can affect how you feel and see things, keeping you disillusioned, hooked on them, negative thoughts, behaviors, and affecting these things can even infect your environment to make like bad things happen to you, bad luck, make you want to drink. Oh, in the drinking and the drugging, oh my God. Keep you trapped in the situation so you'll stay with the narcissist so they could get the energetic supply. And here's another thing I've mentioned before. Once you realize what they are, and if you carry a lot of light, once you realize what they are and you carry a lot of light, they can sense it. And I've said before, it's like an energy overlay with the attachments, the shadows. I call it the demonic smile. And you probably have and didn't realize what it was, and it looks creepy. Even like when they look at you and smile, or like they get away with something, you will see them do this crazy ass evil smile. And if you pay attention, you'll literally, like they'll smile, say like they're happy for you about something. They'll smile and it almost looks like a Joker smile, but their eyes don't match. It's almost like two different faces put together. And it's literally an overlay, the energy of the shadow or whatever demon or dark aspect or entity will actually show up. And some of them will do it on purpose. They will do that demonic smile for you when no one else is looking, because they know you can see them, and to mentally fuck with you and freak you the fuck out. And another thing with the narcissists, a lot of them are very good at hiding this negative behavior and what can bring it out, like drugs, alcohol, negative situations. It's hard for them to control this inner whatever darkness, what I would consider darkness, and it'll come out. And people that are more positive, they have light and they recognize who they are. People who are aware, they trigger the fuck out of these people. And they'll sit there and mess with the person with the light, the person who's aware, but act like a total angel to everybody else. And they'll sit there and do gaslighting and do fucked up shit that only the person will see. The person with the light. And they will mind fuck you and make you think you're fucking crazy. That it's not them, that it's you. So I hope it'll help someone, anyone. And if you know anybody that needs this information, please forward it to them. And just remember again, it's simple but complicated.